What's up, guys, and welcome to Star Citizen. I haven't really talked in a video in a long time. I mean, I talk all the time in videos because they're from the stream, but I really haven't done a commentary in a while. This is my second time recording this whole video. It was kind of fun doing a commentary, though, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. The reason I'm doing a commentary is because I just really want to talk about Star Citizen. I've just been having a lot of fun in this game. I don't know if you saw at the beginning. This is all off stream, by the way, for all you stream people wondering why you didn't see this. I did this off stream, but I actually snuck onto that guy's ship at the beginning there. Like, I landed to pick up some supplies, and he was already there. And so I waited for him to come out to his ship, and then he had it unlocked for some reason, so I just snuck up behind him. Sorry for not leaving that part in. That ship was just so big, it took forever to walk through. To think that ship's smaller than this one, too. That's like its little baby brother. This is the 890 jump. They just added to the game. The last ship was the 600i, which is just a smaller version of this. I think that one's been in the game for like 3 months now. But anyways, we've landed at Leavesden, which is on the planet Hurston. There is oxygen here, so we don't have to use our undersuit, which gives us a different HUD, actually. It's a much cleaner HUD. I would recommend just keeping your undersuit on, though. The oxygen seems to be kind of buggy at the moment. Sometimes you'll walk, like I walked into a ship here that was at a dealership, and it just thought that there was no oxygen in it when it's on a planet with oxygen, so just keep your suit on. But in this video, I just kind of wanted to show you guys what's in the game at the moment, and try not to talk about what's not in the game and what's coming up in a patch. Not trying to hate on people who do that. I love those videos, but just for people to know like what you can do at the moment, you know? I don't want to be too biased or anything. There are a decent amount of bugs in the game. Luckily, most of the bugs are, like, you don't have to restart your game to fix the bugs. Half of learning this game to have fun is just learning how to deal with the bugs. I'm sure there's honestly a video out there. I would really recommend watching a beginner's guide on this. This isn't really going to be a beginner's guide. This is just going to be more so my thoughts on the game, walking around, looking at this dude who's doing this. I don't know. There are some bugs in the game. This doesn't really, I don't care about stuff like this, though. Nice bracelet, though. I've just been having so much fun with this game, and it's cool to actually see it become a game, and not just a tech demo, which hopefully people will realize. I do show a lot of like gameplay, by the way, not just walking around. But if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm not just here to look at a bartender. There's actually a reason to come here. Let's say you complete a quest. This is where you would come to buy different upgrades. There's a lot of different upgrades, actually. I'm not going to show you everything. I didn't really want to show everything just so that you guys have some excitement when you go in. That's not like me being lazy to not edit it. I just think it's smoother to just talk over me walking around this place. It looks better. But one thing I wasn't expecting with this game, coming back to it after purchasing it 5 years ago, was that there's actually stuff to do. It's not just a tech demo where you look at your spaceship that you spent $300 on. There's actually stuff to do. And by stuff, I don't mean just dogfighting quests. I personally don't like the dogfighting quests that much. They can be fun. My favorite missions are the ground FPS missions, where you land on a planet and you have to take out the AA turrets unless you have a ground vehicle to move in. And you basically eliminate the AI for money. Sometimes you have to destroy drugs, or you can take the drugs and sell them. It can be kind of tedious. There's like 300 drug boxes that you have to destroy. I don't show that in this video, but that was a very tedious mission by myself. I'm not sure what these AI are doing, by the way. I think they are suicidal. Am I allowed to make suicide? It's not a joke, man. I was about to say a suicide joke, but they need to get off the train tracks, man. They're gonna get hurt. You're not allowed to make suicide jokes, by the way. That's how I covered that one up. Unless this isn't like Twitch. But anyways, I just entered the armor shop. You're definitely gonna want to get some armor. It's pretty cheap too. I think you start the game with around 5,000 credits, which is enough to get armor. I would recommend getting a gun first, though. I mean, one quest you can buy armor. I think it's 5K for an armor set. A dogfighting quest gives you around 5 to 8K, depending on what you do. I don't know. I'm just happy that there's finally stuff to do in this game. For a while, to me, this game was just a tech demo. And it's cool to see it actually come a long way since when I first bought it, when you only could look at your ship. It's come a real long way. It's gotten a lot of hate, though. Mainly because of how much money ships can cost. For anyone who doesn't know, ships can cost quite a lot. A lot of people would say $100 is a lot for a ship, on top of the $45 game price that only gives you 2 ships. which are perfectly fine ships, by the way. But the fun stuff is gonna cost you some money, sadly, which isn't that big of a deal, honestly. I personally would recommend getting the $45 version of the game, plus the $20 a month membership, and of course you can cancel the membership anytime. That's how I got the 890 Jump, which is a $700 ship. For $20, I unlocked about $1,000 worth of ships for a month. And I mean, it's honestly kind of good, because every month I get new ships. I've bought in a couple ships, and I kind of got bored of them pretty fast. And if you're worried about the whole real money thing, you can get ships in-game. Right now, we were at the dealership, or the new deal, where you can come look at ships in person. Over there, they have the big boy ships. That's the Constellation, and on the right, there's the Hammerhead, which is basically the AC-130 of space. You need a big crew to operate that thing, though, which is why I don't really think this game's pay to win, because a lot of the $1,000 ships are, like, so excessive, and they're so easy to run away from when you're a small ship that if you come into contact with Bill Gates and his $1,500 AC-130, I mean, you can just run away. The only person who can really contend with something like a Hammerhead would be another Hammerhead. Any small player, you would waste your whole payload and you wouldn't do anything to his shields. There would be no point. The smart thing would be to run, unless you have 30 Bambis all in their Auroras trying to attack the Hammerhead. Then maybe they could pull something off. But here we have the dealership menu, which this was my first time looking at it. I had no idea how many ships there actually were. That stealth fighter right there was pretty cool. And actually, a lot of these ships you can only get in-game, just because on the website, when they sell stuff for IRL money, it's kind of limited edition, like this Reclaimer right here. Now, it costs 15 million in-game credits, which is a lot of grinding. This ship right here, though, is kind of pointless, just because this is a salvage ship. I believe it has a lot of cargo if you're into cargo running, but salvaging's not in the game yet, from what I've heard, so really no point to farm for that. 15 million, that's kind of a squad vehicle. Again, some of these are so big that they're for squads. That fighter right there, I almost wish I paused that. It's like a bomber jet. A lot of these are either 2-person or 3-person operated. I think the medium ships are my favorite. Something like, this is a Mustang right here. That's what you get for starting. But the medium ships are probably my favorite. There's a mining ship. Mining can be pretty good for money. This is another mining ship, just a different skin. Can just be kind of tedious, though. I don't like mining. That right there is the Constellation. That's probably my favorite. And again, all these are really grindy, but one thing that you can get pretty cheap are these cars. 26,000 in-game credits, that is nothing. You could do that in an hour, honestly. Just do 5 dogfighting missions and you'll have enough. Now, the sad part is, you can load these vehicles, although if you're just on the $45 account, you can't load vehicles in any of those. Loading vehicles is something I really like doing in this game, which is why I spent what I have spent on this game. I don't want to say. But again, you do not need to spend this much money. I'm not trying to sound like a salesperson. I don't get anything out of this. I'm just trying to help you guys have fun in this game if you do get it. The best way to have fun, get the $45 package and the $20 a month thing. You will have a lot of ships to mess around with. And every month you get something new. I honestly wish I never bought any ships. I would have saved a lot of money. Right here's the Constellation. I was just going inside of it. This isn't really going to be a ship tour video. That's why I said keep your undersuit on. This is what I was talking about. I go inside of this and I start dying. It was kind of weird. But this is a really nice ship. I'll give you guys a little tour. Sorry if you think this is boring. I get to combat and stuff later in the video. It's a very long video just because there's a lot in this game, and I wanted this to be kind of an introduction to it to the channel before I start uploading like live commentary and stuff. I feel not many people even understand this game, like what the purpose of it is. A lot of people just think of this game as a tech demo where you walk inside a shower and then walk out of it. It used to be, but now there's actually stuff to do. I do show gameplay and the first-person shooting. I tried to show every form of combat in this. I didn't really show mining or anything like that. It's not really my playstyle. I like shooting people. This is a nice ship. You can't even buy this for real money. It's only in-game currency at the moment, just because it's limited edition. It'd be very grindy to farm for this, though. This one costs, I think, 5 million, which I've heard takes about 2 weeks to maybe a month to farm if you're by yourself. Which is long for one item, but in the term of video game grinding, it's really not that bad. The only bad part is that the game wipes, so you lose this at the moment. I think it's every 3 months it wipes. which kind of sucks. Apparently they're working on persistence though, so that you grind in game and it won't wipe. That'll be cool. Hopefully they add that sooner or later. There's a lot of really cool stuff coming soon. That's kind of been the history of Star Citizen, is that there's always something cool coming soon. The point of this video is to mainly be about what's in the game at the moment and not talk about so much what's coming soon. But one of my favorite things that's coming somewhat in the near future is the ability to claim land. I think by the end of December it's supposed to be a thing. And after you claim the land, I assume you're going to be able to put some type of base down. I think that's confirmed. That's probably going to be after claiming land though. We'll see. The next update's going to focus on the ground a lot. A lot of players complain that there's just nothing to do on the ground, which they're kind of right. There's missions, but other than that, there's no point to just explore freely. It'd be cool if you had a base though, because then you could use something like this to defend your base. Aww. Wait, he's not even dead.
They should have killed him in one shot. I don't know why he's not dead.
That was 2, wasn't it?
It's because I'm amazing. Oh, there we go. There you go. Yeah, he's dead. He just murdered someone. There you go. Now you see it blow people up.
Good job. That was kind of satisfying. That right there was the Anvil Ballista. Sadly, this isn't farmable in-game by in-game currency, and there's no way to transport it with a vehicle. We don't have a ship large enough to transport this thing yet. We have the 890 jump, which could fit like 100 of these things, but the overall, the place where you load the cars just isn't that big. We're still waiting on some bigger ones. I think the Karak, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, go on their website and just look at all the ships they're going to be adding. It's kind of unreal. That's a video game in itself, is just looking at their website. It's quite impressive. They do such a good job on the ships. But I believe that is $150 for that Anvil Ballista at the moment. Just too expensive for me. I'm not going to be purchasing that. I'm probably going to wait for it to pop up on the in-game trade stores. I assume it won't be that much in-game cash. And I believe they're going to be making ships cheaper in-game as well, to make it more obtainable. There just needs to be more of a gradual incline, not 1 month of grinding for 1 month, or for one ship, maybe 1 month of grinding for 5 ships. I think that would be fair. I mean, some of the ships are so cool though that it kind of makes sense grinding that long. They're kind of maps in themselves. I don't know if you see in the horizon right there, but that's the Aegis Hammerhead, the AC-130 ship I was talking about. It's got 6 turrets on it, I believe. This is not my ship. This is a buddy ship. I was playing with some people, if you heard them talking earlier. I was playing with Morphologist. He's a YouTuber and he streams. He makes really good videos. If you want to see like a full tour of this ship right here, go check him out. I'll probably link his channel in the description, because he helped me out a lot and he showed me some cool stuff. And I've learned a lot from his channel. He's an architect, like a real life architect. He's not lying about it right now. I know the internet comments are saying he just lies about being an architect just to make videos. You know, I can already see it coming, but he's a real architect, I think. He seems to know what he's talking about. He's a really cool dude, though. Definitely go check out his videos. Also, Law of the West, he makes good videos if you want to see some ship tours. I wish I could do a ship tour, but that's its own video in itself, as these things are quite big. I believe this ship is around 160 meters long. Not even the biggest ship in the game. Definitely one of them at the moment, though. A lot of their very big ships still aren't in yet. They're making a single-player game called Squadron 42, and apparently they don't want to release some of those ships because it'll spoil the single-player game, which is kind of interesting. See, this is one of the bugs right here. You have to stay in the driver's seat when you're doing an elevator. There's ships that have ramps, which I would recommend if you're a solo player. As a solo player, if you have an elevator, it's kind of rough because you're going to need someone in the driver's seat most of the time if you want it to be more consistent at working and not just fly through the ground. We got kind of lucky there, but now the ship is loaded. That is all you have to do to load a vehicle, which is so cool. I love loading vehicles. It can bug out. It's not perfect every time, even if you get it in there. I think this one actually ended up getting deleted, but it's whatever. This is the Hammerhead, if you didn't catch that part. It's basically an AC-130. I believe this is considered a capital-sized ship. Now, someone is probably going to be saying this is pay-to-win, when the thing is, this ship is so big and so hard to maneuver that, I mean, it would just be so easy to run away from. If you're like a noob in your little $45 Aurora, you would just run away because there's nothing you could even do. I'm pretty sure, like, if you could spend all your ammo and you wouldn't take this thing out. The shields are just too strong. The only thing that could really take out a capital ship is another capital ship or some bomber ships. By the way, this ship right here is a salvaging ship used for salvaging blown-up ships. I don't think you can actually do that at the moment, though. You can get this in-game at the moment. You can't actually buy it anymore. I believe it was 15 million in-game credits, which I don't want to say how long it could take, but that's going to take you a long time. Maybe like 2 to 3 months, and you'd probably... What a lot of people do is they have a big group, and they'll all farm collectively and then transfer the money to one person to buy it, which isn't a bad idea. I don't want to say this game or sound like this game is only for squads, because it's really not, but it's definitely best played with a big group of people. And it's not hard to find like a group of people. There's in-game VoIP that actually works. I don't know if you heard the people talking, but how it had that radio codec. That was because we were in a radio call. There would be no radio codec if we were just in direct chat, but we were specifically in a radio call so we could hear each other farther. I really like that. I'm not a fan of Discord, honestly. I'd rather use in-game comms just because it's more immersive. Sorry for saying immersive so much. I sound like, I don't know what I sound like, but I like my immersion, God damn it. That's why I play games with floating cars and wheels that don't even spin. I don't know if you noticed the wheel's not spinning. Apparently that used to work, and then they broke it. I'm not sure. Do not buy one of these on the website, by the way. I don't even want to say how much they cost, but they're really easy to farm in game, so don't be fooled by that. If you're wondering what the purpose of this car thing is, I feel like some people are like, oh, this guy's just driving around in his car, loading it up for fun. There's actually a purpose for it. My favorite type of missions in the game are the ground missions where you land and you have to go, you have to enter the enemy base and basically take out the AI. The only problem is the AI are very broken, which I will show you maybe in the next clip here. But this ship right here is the Cutlass Black. This is probably the best bang for your buck if you want to have somewhat of a big ship, you know, and this is more for people, I don't know, if you already like the game and you know you want to spend a little bit of money and have fun, and I wouldn't recommend buying it right away. Maybe play the game for a little bit with your starter ships and then upgrade to one of these things. And you can always trade in, like your $45 game package. You get your ship will trade for $30, so you basically get a $30 discount on this thing. I think it'll cost you $90 for this specific ship, which I know is a lot of money. I would personally recommend getting the $20 a month package. Although it didn't give me a ship that would load a vehicle. It might be nice to just buy one of these if you've got the cash and do the $20 program as well. I'm not trying to sound like a salesman, by the way. I'm just trying to teach you how to have the most fun in the game. Again, some people say all you need is the $45 version. I kind of disagree with this. I feel like you need to spend a little bit of cash, mainly because the basic ships are kind of broken at the moment with loading crates and stuff. I don't know. Don't think of that as a bad thing, though. I mean, think of Escape from Tarkov for most of my viewers. That's what game I play, but I paid $140 for EOD, which, I mean, you just get a bigger inventory size. This game, you at least get new content. Some people might say that's the problem, is buying new content, but at the end of the day, it's a Kickstarter, and they've got to fund money, I guess, whether you like it or not. And I would say that don't worry, when the game's out, all these will be obtainable in-game, but the sad truth is who knows when that's coming. I don't really like to say when a game comes out. I just like to talk about if it's good now and try not to mention, oh, don't worry, next patch it's coming. I kind of wanted to focus on the game at the moment. And at the moment, I really enjoy the game. I have a blast playing it. At the moment, we just flew to a mission with our car in the back. It did not fall out or bug out or anything. And when the game works, it's honestly one of my favorite games of all time. And maybe that means nothing to you, but I feel like, I don't know, I just haven't had many games that interest me. I don't know, I don't want to sound like a snob, but just not many games interest me. They just don't have as much depth as I would like. My favorite game of all time will always be Arma 2 Mod. And I feel like it might be weird to some people that I'm comparing this to that, or even Arma 3 Exile, but that's the only thing that I can compare it to, just because it's got that exploration, it's going to have base building, you can kill people, you kill AI, you play with friends. It's a really fun game. Would I recommend this game? I think I would. I think it's in a playable state, as long as you can deal with bugs. Half the part of this game is just mastering the bugs, honestly. A lot of them are fixable without restarting your game. You just got to learn how to prevent them. For example, when you're quantum traveling somewhere, if you get pulled out of that quantum travel, you're going to have to reset your waypoint again. This confused me a lot. I thought the game was broken. I restarted my game. I would really recommend watching a beginner's guide to this game. There's a lot of good ones on YouTube, and that way you won't make the same mistakes as I do. But at the moment, we just got out of our cutlass. I'm playing with a buddy right now. This was from the stream. That's why there's no audio anymore, because this was footage from the stream. But right now we're going to go roll in the battle. The reason we didn't land close is because there's AA turrets. They're not hard to take out if you stay moving, if you kind of circle them. I didn't know this at the moment, and it's kind of fun just to use the car. Gives me a reason to go driving. The driving's not very good, by the way. There's no suspension physics. It's very stiff at the moment. I'm sure one day they'll make it good, considering how good the ships are. I mean, if you look at the ships when they land, like you see the suspension on the landing gear, I'm sure they'll make the vehicles better. Anyways, I cut to a different mission where I was clearing a building. It's basically the same thing as the last one, but the last footage just wasn't that good. I thought this footage was better. And I'm sorry if the frame rate's kind of bad here. I actually blew up all the turrets this time. And I think just all the turrets being blow up, all the physics made the frames really bad. If you're wondering what my PC specs are, I have an 8700K at 4.8 gigahertz and a 2080 Ti, which is probably one of the best PCs you could have at the moment, except I don't have an extreme Intel, I'm sorry. But right here, I was getting like 40 FPS. On average, I would say I get 60, depending on if I'm in a town. Like at the beginning when we were in Loreville, I was at 45. I feel like this game, though, no matter how good of a PC you have, it's kind of like, I feel like the frame rate's almost capped, if that makes sense. Anyone who's played Arma will know what I'm talking about. You can have a way better PC than someone else, but you'll be getting the same frame rate just because the server's kind of being bad. I don't know how hard this game is. I'd check the recommended settings. I feel like if you can play Tarkov at 60 FPS, then you could probably play this game. But right now, this wasn't actually a mission. I just landed, which is kind of cool. This isn't even a mission. Like, these AI were just here. I just kind of walked in and killed them. Sadly, there's no point for doing this. If it was a quest, I would get money. But for doing this, I don't get much. There's nothing to loot here, which one day they'll add. Not sure where that grenade went. I think it went nowhere. Got kind of scared that it was at my feet. This is the space revolver right here. This thing's pretty good. On this next guy, I like two-tapped him. It's not bad. If you're not getting a hit marker, that means he's dead, or you're getting bad hit reg. It's hard to tell. Pepe hands. Feels bad. The combat's not bad, though, and what I mean by that is, when you're shooting, it doesn't feel that bad. In terms of the enemy, they feel way too easy, and by easy, a lot of the times they don't even have their gun out. They'll just have their hands pointed like they're holding a gun. But apparently next patch is going to be a ground update, where they're going to be redoing all the AI. I hate saying next patch, by the way. I'm sorry. I feel like it's just an excuse for early access, but it is what it is. But next patch, which I think is at the end of this month, is going to be focused on terrain. They're going to be adding caves. They're going to be adding new gun attachments, fixing AI. It'll be pretty cool. I don't know if you saw there, but I picked up his gun. There's no way to, like, really loot people. I was trying to store it on me in my weapons thing, but it wouldn't even recognize it. Like, the other guns I bought from a trader, so they save, but because I picked it up, it doesn't count. I could store it in my ship. Not every ship has a weapons container, but the Drake does. And if you put it in the thing, it'll actually stay there until the ship blows up. There is persistence on the ships. Sometimes if it doesn't bug out, you can even keep your car when you store it at a hangar, and when you spawn it back out, it'll still have the car. But a lot of the times it bugs out. Anyways, we got done killing those dudes. I'm in the, I forgot the name of the ship. I think it's the Freelancer Dur. The Dur is the model of it. It's kind of a derpy name. But I wanted to show you this part. I'm not just waking up from a bed. The beds are functional. They're kind of like Minecraft beds. If you go in the bed and hit log out, you can disconnect from the server, close your game, wake up the next day, and when you log back into the game, unless the server's crashed or bugged out, you'll log back into your ship on your bed, and your ship will be in the same spot as it was, in the middle of space. Right now, I'm just floating above a planet. I don't think the beds work, though, if you're landed on a planet, which kind of sucks. One day it'll work. Not at the moment, though. I don't want to say the word next patch, because I just really want to talk about the game at the moment, you know? I don't want to say, oh, this is next patch, this is coming. I want to try to just talk about the game for what it is at the moment. But I really like this ship. This is comparable to the Cutlass, which I showed you guys earlier. Really good ship, can load vehicles, can load a lot of cargo. I'm probably not going to show you guys cargo running in this, but cargo running is a good way to make money. Flying to a mining outpost and loading up with gold, and then flying. Not every place will take the, like if I load it up with gold, not every place would take it. ArcCorp is pretty good for gold from what I've heard, so I always go to ArcCorp to sell gold. It can be risky though, because you can, I mean, if you have a big enough ship, you can load up $50,000 worth of gold, which I mean is pretty annoying if you get a bug and die, which has happened to me a lot. I always get bugs when I do cargo runs. I don't know what it is. I always get bugs. Anyways, at the moment, we are currently going back to Hurston. I have no need to go there. I was just getting a different ship for the video. But if I had just completed a quest, we would be going back to rearm. At the moment, I'm kind of damaged, so that we could repair there. I don't think you can actually rearm at Hurston. I think you can only rearm at space stations. I think the theory is that it's a city, and they don't want to be giving you missiles at cities. Maybe I was just getting a bug. I'm not sure. But anyways, we're about to quantum travel, and I wanted to show you guys how seamless this was. We just woke up in outer space. I don't know how far up we are. I think I'm 100,000 kilometers in the air right now. And I mean, most games would have loading screens. Most games wouldn't even have this. I haven't played many space games to compare this to, but I just can't believe that there's no loading screens in this. I mean, obviously things load, but it's all persistent. I don't even know what persistent means, but I used it there. Hopefully I used it correctly. Even if this feature right here was the only feature, I would consider it a good game. But this is Hurston, one of the bigger cities. You guys already saw this at the beginning, but just wanted to show you what it looked like coming in from orbit. It's unbelievable, honestly. You would think this is a cutscene or a loading screen. I just held the camera steady. That's all it was. Sorry for making it too cinematic. And if you're wondering what quantum travel is, sorry for not giving as many tips. I really wanted to give a lot of tips in this video, but I kind of just talked about the game. You have to place a waypoint, and then you hit B, and then you can spool on it. I would really recommend watching a beginner's guide to this game, which is kind of why I didn't even want to touch on tips, because it's I don't know, doing tips isn't really my thing. I just wanted to show you guys the game and give you my opinion on it, and inform people that it's actually a fun game. And by the way, this ship right here, it's a pretty ugly ship. I don't really like it. It's very functional. It's really good at fighting also. I think these medium ships, this and the Cutlass, are probably the best overall ships. You aren't limited to anything. They are very good at dogfighting. They have a turret for if you have a friend. You can carry more people and have more people log out on your bed. I think the beds are only for one person. So if you have 5 people, you all can't use the same bed. I think it's only linked to one person from the way I understand it. So if you have 4 beds, only 4 people can save their position there. But anyways, we're just coming into Hurston. And I wanted to show you guys landing footage with that ship, but I didn't have any, so I figured I'd show you guys landing footage in the Anvil Arrow. This is a fighter. It's pretty clean looking. Kind of reminds me of like a F-16 meets like a F-35 or something. I don't know. They definitely use real life airplanes and stuff for inspiration. There's one ship that looks like a B-52 bomber. It looks pretty cool. I forget the name of it though. But if you see those red things, that's a no-fly zone. We can't go into that. They'll redirect us or even maybe shoot us down. But to land, just a quick tip, you have to call air traffic control pretty much. If you noticed how I'm actually using the menus, by the way, maybe you haven't seen that. All the menus are functional. They're not just for looks. They all have a purpose. Again, it's a whole nother video to talk about. In the top left, you see power distribution. You can distribute more power for weapons, things like that, more for speed. On the right, you have your shields. It's pretty cool. And I don't have my flight suit on, so I don't have as much HUD, just so the video looked better. But if you have a flight suit on, you get more HUD, like wearing a helmet and stuff like that. You don't need a flight suit in a fighter, though. I guess it's pressurized. I would recommend keeping your undersuit on most of the time, though. Just because I've noticed the oxygen can kind of bug out. So sometimes if you get in a ship, it kind of freaks out. I would just keep it on. Having ships get depressurized isn't a feature at the moment. At least from the looks of it. I think it's just a bug whenever you start dying inside your ship, because I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be airtight, at least most of them. But yeah, there's your landing. It's a pretty fun landing. It's a nice sign of accomplishment, a relief when you get back doing a mission. And the point of landing, I guess, would be to repair or to restock. You can't restock here, though, for some reason. I think it's because it's a main city. You can't restock. You have to go to one of the space stations. Again, I would 100% recommend watching a beginner's guide. I'm sorry if I don't give a lot of tips. Just kind of wanted to show you guys what's up with this game, show you the basics of it. I think you'll start seeing this game a lot more on the channel. I've been having a lot of fun with it. It seems like they're getting good with releasing patches as well. I haven't followed the game too much, but I know we're getting a patch at the end of this month, and one in December, and they seem pretty good at scheduling everything. They have a whole roadmap, and they seem to do a decent job from what I've heard at releasing things on time. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure they've delayed 1 or 2 patches, but it's nice when games have a roadmap, unlike Tarkov, where they just kind of keep saying soon, and then one day it comes out. But anyways, on to the part of the video I'm sure you guys wanted me to show way more of, which is I forget the name of this thing, the 890 jump. Sorry, I've been up for a long time. I've been playing Star Citizen all night recording this video. This is such a crazy ship, though. I mean, I know some people are going to say, oh, fucking $600 ship. Sorry for cursing. That was the first time I cursed this video. It is a $600 ship. I paid $20 a month, though, for it. I don't know how that's a thing, by the way, but I guess it's a thing. I would definitely recommend doing that if you want to try this out. I mean, $45 plus 20, that's 65 bucks. That's about the average price of a game. I mean, it's not mine forever, but you get to play for it with a month, which isn't bad. This thing's just crazy, though. I don't know. I wish things weren't so expensive. I understand the hate for it. And if I were the devs, I would kind of chill on the expensive ships, because I feel like a lot of people hate the game just because of how much money the ships cost. They think the devs just want money, when, in my opinion, they need money to stay in business, and it seems like they care about making a good game, though. It really does. If they wanted to cash out, they would have done it a long time ago. I think they reached... I think they're at $290 million now. It's a Kickstarter, by the way, if you didn't know that. That's how this game started. I think within a couple months, they had 30 million, so, I mean, that's enough to kind of hit the road, you know? Go to a different country, and no one would ever touch you again, but they continued on. They started from a basement, and now they have a full-size studio. I mean, I don't think some people realize, even though you have money, it takes a lot of work to organize a bunch of different employees across countries. It's not like you click a button and that happens. Even with money, it still takes a lot of work and setting up to do all that. And now that they have the ball rolling, it seems like they can put patches out. I mean, game design's much more than making a game. You're running a company and you have employees, then you need to keep them all on track and make sure everyone knows what they're doing, you know? You can't just have people running around everywhere. Not naming names, Tarkov, but, you know. Hopefully they fired the netcode guy. Hopefully the netcode guy didn't get hired over here. That would be a problem. Anyways. I mean, even if this game was only clicking these menus, I think I would recommend it. I don't know why, but when I hop in any ship, even the $45 base ship, when you hop in, you start clicking these menus and calling air traffic control and getting a little face cam. No, that is not me, by the way. It's just so immersive. It's. I hate to say it's the best game I've ever played. Someone's probably getting their angry comment ready right now. But it's almost the best game I've ever played. And I'm not just saying that so that you use my referral code. Yes, I have a referral code. That'll be at the end of the video. Link in the description, by the way. But, I mean, just look at this game. Just look at this. No loading screens. To me, it's like a single-player game that's multiplayer, if that makes sense. I've never seen features like this in a multiplayer game. Anyways, I'm going to speed up this just because this ship is very slow. If you want to fly one, well, just go buy one, bro. They're $700. It's very slow, though. It flies like a big ship. Apparently, every thruster is modeled, by the way. Like, if one thruster gets blown out, you'll feel it in that direction, if that makes sense. This ship just has rear thrusters, I believe, but other ships have different thrusters. I would really recommend looking at all the ships. If you're interested in this game, I'm telling you right now, if you're interested, you are going to spend the rest of your life following this game. I promise you. Even 20 years from now, you'll be looking back at this game. Maybe not 20 years, but you know what I mean. Anyways, now we're going to leave this planet, go to a space station, get a fighter jet, load it in the airplane hangar. Yes, you can load air vehicles onto an air vehicle and fly around. I can technically load a ship here, but I would need someone to be controlling the ship while I land another ship on it, unless we're in zero gravity, which is where we're going. In that case, I could do things on my own. And another thing with these ships, which is the reason why I would not buy one, is because they are very expensive to refuel. I believe it's 150,000 in-game credits to refuel this, which, I mean, you can just blow it up and get free fuel, or park it and let it go into storage and it'll refuel it, I'm pretty sure. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like you'll never fly it again, but it could definitely be a waste of time. And the fuel runs really quick on this thing. It's kind of bugged at the moment. Like, one quantum travel. By the time I got to Olisar, I already used 25%. Like, leaving orbit, it was like 20%. It's kind of ridiculous. They kind of need to adjust that. Not like anyone's going to buy this, though. People who have already bought this don't care about the fuel. They just want the ship. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and leave the atmosphere. We have to climb to 100,000 feet in the... I think it's feet in the air. 100,000 altitude. That's how you leave orbit on a planet. Moons are about 20,000. Some don't even have atmospheres. If you're wondering why you can't quantum travel. That's one boring part about this game is how long it can take to leave orbit. This is where having friends can also be a benefit to entertain you. You can just take in the scenery, but once that scenery disappears, there ain't much to do other than just wait. Another reason why having a big ship where you can walk around is more fun when you're quantum traveling, just so you have something to do. But I mean, just look at that. Like, to think we came from there and we're walking around with no loading screen and now we're here. A part of me just wants to leave this 30-minute video in just to show you guys, for people who haven't experienced this. It's just an incredible game. It truthfully is. I hope you guys are understanding that by the end of this, and that you guys realize it's a good game, because I feel like there's just a lot of bad stigma on this game. I kind of fell victim to that and didn't check it out for a while. But at the same time, I feel like it was also a pretty, I don't want to say a bad game, but very buggy and not much to do. There seems to be stuff to actually do now. It's not just a tech demo. Right here, I was trying to use my little map. You can actually use this map, but on this ship, it's not working. It was working on my cheap ship. I thought you get what you pay for, god damn it. There's no point to really use that. The map's quicker. You just hit F2 to pull up the map, by the way, but it's just kind of more immersive. To think we didn't have a single loading screen. I can't believe it. And I don't know if you remember, it's probably been a while, the very beginning kill, when I snuck on that guy's ship, he left his door open, by the way. He had his whole ship unlocked, so I just walked up. I would show it, but it was just kind of long. These ships are big, and it took forever to go through, but... Like, he was flying like I am right now. To think I was walking up his ship and killed a player while flying like this, it's insane to me. There's nothing like that. I remember in Arma, there were mods where you could walk around flying vehicles, and it was the most janky thing ever. Or loading vehicles in Arma, I'm sure you guys remember that. That's kind of why I compare this game to Arma. I haven't really heard anyone make the Arma comparison before. I hate to say leave a comment on what you think, but I don't know, is that a fair comparison? It's like Arma met Skyrim, met Fallout. Okay, I'll stop now. It's its own thing. It's a video game where you do stuff and you have fun. It's fun, and that's what a video game should be. I hate like, when people ask me, like, what's the point of this game? What's the point of any game? And this game actually has stuff to do. I know DayZ, people always ask, what's the point of this game? But, I mean, you do quests and you level up and you work towards that better ship, so you don't have to work a month at McDonald's to buy a new one. But anyways, we're going to Crusader right now, which is a gas giant. Another benefit of a big ship like this is you can quantum travel quicker. So even though it took us longer to exit the orbit, I mean, quantum travels like 3 times the speed. That's another ship upgrade you can do, is upgrading the quantum engine. You can't upgrade the main engine, but you can do the quantum engine, which is different, I guess. And that'll get you places quicker. I would probably recommend doing that, because these quantum travels can be pretty boring as a solo player. I remember when I was in a group with morphologists, it just seemed so much more fun, like the downtime. It made things go so much quicker. Anyways, now we have arrived at Port Olisar, and if you see all those green triangles, those are players. Green triangles are players, blue mean AI, and if it's a red triangle, that means it's a wanted player. I'm pretty sure that's what that means, or it means an enemy AI, one of the two. Another tip, or one of the few tips I've given. Sorry for not giving more tips, but I feel like if this was a tip video, then it would only be a tip video. But if you hit tab by default, it'll open up a scan menu, and if you hold right click, it'll scan for enemies, and then they'll pop up on your radar, which can be kind of nice if you're going to a hot area or something. You want to scan it really quick.
animations for all pads.
Apparently we're too big. Which isn't a problem because we're just going to hover outside and then walk inside. And I want to spawn a fighter, and then we're going to load the fighter and go to a dogfighting mission, which there really is no purpose. It'd be cool if this ship had like a rearming or something like that. That way if I landed inside of it, it could rearm. There's refueling ships, but I don't think they work yet. I'm sure they've thought of rearming ships. It's just not in the game yet. It's kind of another reason why I think these big ships are kind of pointless. Unless you want to get messed with at safe zone. I mean, I'm kind of the problem, I guess, but just kind of wanted to mount him. I don't know if you could fly like this. I think I would get I wouldn't work. I don't think it would work. I've seen weird things, though. I don't know what's happening. Anyways. Here we have the Anvil Arrow, which is a fighter jet, single pilot. I love these animations, by the way. Sometimes they bug out and you have to redo it, but when it works, it's very nice. And another tip, you don't have to hit all these buttons, by the way. The way you interact is you hold F and then you can use your mouse cursor. I just like to click all the buttons because it feels more immersive. But if you get in the ship and you hit R, then it turns it to flight ready. And when you land a ship, you can hit U to automatically turn everything off. But one tip I have, if you land your ship, it's best to just turn your engine off. That way, because if you keep your power on, your shields stay up. So if you land, like I'm landing right now, and we weren't in a safe zone, even though I'm landed, my shields are still up. But the engine's off, so we save fuel. But right now we're landing on the front of the 890, which I paid $20 for. I can't believe I paid that much. I never hear anyone talk about the $20 model. All I hear about is people complain about how much money ships cost when you can get $1,000 of ships for 1 month. This Hornet didn't come with the package. The ships they gave me, though, were way better than the Hornet, though. They were all, like, limited edition ships. It was kind of crazy. I was really blown away. We'll have to see what next month's subscription package brings before I can say it's the best thing ever, but... Now for the fun part, which is loading an air vehicle onto our ship. Now, this is not it. It doesn't just sit there. This is an elevator. Which, I mean, it can bug out. I've had this bug out. It's recommended that you sit in the pilot seat while doing this, which is what I was trying to set up here, but I didn't have enough time. I got kind of lucky on this one. You gotta be careful if you have this open, because people can take it too. This is where having a teammate could be good. Just having someone always in the pilot seat, just so they can open it quickly. As a solo player, this is very risky to do. Which the only reason I say that is just because I feel like people think when you have these big ships, you're the boss of the sky, when to be honest, you're kind of just doing extra work that puts you at a disadvantage. There's not much of a point to be doing this, unless you have a lot of people. It's just more fun, you know? It's way more fun. Hopefully in the future there's more of a reason. I think when you have a big ship like this, they want to make it so you get access to better quests and stuff like that. That might already be implemented, but I don't have too many big ships. I wasn't seeing any specialty ones with this. I've heard if you have a hammerhead that you get better combat missions. I don't know if that's true. I just injected myself with a med pen, by the way, on accident. You have to bind all your meds, by the way. Again, I'd recommend watching a beginner's video. I wish I could tell you, but if you just open up your menu, you gotta make sure you bind everything when you relaunch the game, because things will get unbound, like your gun and stuff like that. I think the reason you have to bind meds, even though they're on you, is so that when you're flying, you don't accidentally hit C. I thought it was kind of annoying. It's like I have the stuff on my guy, but I have to bind it again. But it kind of makes sense just because there's so many different controls. You're not always on the ground. Anyways, now that I've walked the length of 2 football fields, we finally entered the pilot seat. We can finally leave. Be careful, 890s. Them other people are gonna try to ram you. They're jealous you have more money than them. No, I'm kidding, I'm kidding. You might not. You just might be better at wasting your money.
Contact.
Sorry. I don't know what I think of the ship prices, by the way. I really don't. I mean, I'm complaining about a $700 ship when I got it for $20. I think this month, I don't know if this month was just really good for the monthly membership, but it seems pretty good. I don't have every ship, and it kind of sucks that there's probably a lot of ships in the game that I'll just never see, no matter how much I play. I just won't ever own them until the game comes out, you know? I mean, when the game comes out, you'll be able to get stuff much easier. It'll make more sense. You can get most of the capital ships in-game, by the way. I don't want to make it seem like it's only cash. In fact, a lot of the ships are only in-game at the moment because they stopped selling them. But, I don't know. It's whatever you think of it. I think don't worry about the prices. Just care about if you like the game or not, you know? See what you can have fun with within your price bracket. But anyways, right now I'm in the quest menu. If you see what tab I'm on, it's the tab next to the circle in the middle, and this opens all the quests. I had a lot of quests, by the way. Sometimes you don't have that many quests, but I got pretty lucky on this one. A lot of cargo quests. There's cargo quests, investigation quests where you go and investigate a crash and find the leftover people who are dead just to confirm their bodies. There's some fun quests, not gonna lie. My personal favorite quests are the ground missions where you go into the bunker and kill people. That may be mixed with doing some cargo hauling in between. That's kind of how I like to play the game. Not the quickest way to make money. The quickest way to make money is probably dogfighting quests, depending on what area you're in. If you're around Crusader, which is a gas planet, there's not many land missions. If you want land missions, go to Hurston. There's a lot there. I'm not sure if ArcCorp, the planet, has a lot of ground missions. I don't think it does. It's mostly Metropolis area. Haven't really hung out there too much. I personally like Hurston a lot. That's probably my favorite planet. Although there's one planet, I forgot the name of it, and I probably won't remember it, but it's kind of like it's got a K-Kona vibe to it, if you know what I mean. It's way out there, and the waypoint's really hard to set on it. It's kind of glitched. Maybe in the next video, you guys will see that. I'm going to be making a lot of videos on this game, by the way. Expect to see more of this game. Even if they never updated this game again, you're still going to see videos on it. And the upcoming updates are pretty interesting, so we just got to hope they're good. I think they'll be good. We just got to wait. By the way, if you are interested in the game, and I don't make real money off this, so don't call me a sellout. I only get in-game items if you use my referral code. This is my referral code. And I know most people are going to buy the game and just forget about my referral code and not care. So please pause the video, write this down, tell your friends and family. I get some pretty cool ships, man. There's some really nice ships you get. If I get 2,000 people to buy the game, which that is way too many. I'd probably never get that. That is so hard to do. Even if this video got like 1 million views, it probably, not many people would buy it, you know? So I'll probably never get that. But I think in like, if 3 more people get the game, I get a $50 ship, I think. So, you know, help a homie out. No, and you do get extra in-game credit too. So I'm not just being a sellout. You get a little bit extra. I'm a man of the people, yo. I don't care about that ship. I want you to have that 5,000 UAC. You know what I'm saying? You could buy a new gun with it. I totally don't care about the Javelin. But I don't make real money, so don't think I'm a sellout or that affects my opinion on the game. I didn't make a 30-minute Star Citizen video to get more Javelin, to get more referral people, you know? Sorry, I wanted you guys to hear that. I don't know why it made that noise. That's the noise it makes when you enter a town. That was Grim Hex. I think maybe because I flew by so quickly, the signal got interrupted. I'd be curious if that was actually a feature, because that'd be pretty cool. Anyways, on to the dogfighting part. And just to remind you, there was absolutely no point to transport this thing in that 890 jump all by myself. I just want to point that out. There was no point. The only reason we did that is because we looked damn good while doing it. First part of dogfighting is you're going to want to target the guy. You hit 1 to target. You can also hit R, which changes your guns. If it has the circles around it like that, that means your guns are locked to your ship. There's a more technical term, but I forget the name of it. It's the better mode. And right there I hit middle mouse button. That was to lock onto him. And then if you hold middle mouse button, it'll fire the missile. It's kind of a weird lock-on system. It took a little getting used to, but it works out good. I think most people play this game with a joystick anyways. A lot of the keybinds for this are kind of bad. I would recommend just changing them a bit. I don't change keybinds in many games, but this game, it was pretty awful. You'll see what I mean when you play. Right now we're fighting the cops, by the way, if you were wondering why it said hold your fire. We're doing a bad guy mission. We get a lot of money for it, but I'm killing cops, so I'm gonna get a wanted level. There's the TV missile, by the way. I wasn't expecting a TV missile. It's kind of clunky. And you can't control your ship when you do this. It looks kind of cool. Wasn't expecting it to work good. Worked better than I thought it would. Right there, we were taking too much damage, by the way. I'm not sure how damage works yet. Sometimes I melt people. Sometimes I don't melt people. Sometimes I take a ton of damage. Sometimes I don't. There's just so many different ships in the game and so many different weapons. You really don't know what you're going up against. It's hard to tell. You just got to be prepared yourself, I guess. I don't know, dogfighting can be fun. I feel like looking at this, you might think it looks easy based off how smooth the mouse is. That's what makes it look easy, is how smooth it looks. When I'm actually playing, I mean, I can move my mouse. Like, I'm doing this the whole time. I feel like this game is I'm gonna break a mouse playing this game because of how much mouse lifting there is. You might be wondering yourself, how is that possible? You'll know when I play. There's also a lot that goes into it. Like, the whole time, I'm basically just focusing on the distance from him and trying to manage my speed. I don't want him getting too close because sometimes the AI will ram you. These are all AI, by the way, not players. I've yet to have a dogfight with a player. I've died to them. I've yet to win to them. Maybe one day. Then I can have a cool video for you guys. Right now, we're taking out most of them. That was pretty easy. I was lighting them up pretty good. I don't know if I'm getting better at dogfighting or if those guys were just easy. There's one more bad guy down below, but I don't think I have to kill him. We took out the main target. That's all that mattered. I was just kind of killing the rest of them for fun. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. This is a player right here. I was trying to be evil. I almost crashed into an asteroid. Some of these asteroids don't have hitboxes, but when you do hit them, you gotta be careful. And I believe they're in orbit too. Like, they're spinning around the planet, which makes flying in them really weird feeling. It feels like you're out of control, but it's just things are flying past you. The game's absolutely crazy. I hate to sound like a salesman, but I can't recommend it enough. I've been having so much fun with it. There haven't been many games that interest me. I think if you're a fan of that Daisy-style Arma milsim even, I would say Tarkov, but this game's a lot different than Tarkov. It doesn't remind me of that. It reminds me more of Arma and basically just Arma. That's all I can think of. Sorry for comparing it to anything. This game's kind of its own thing, but that's all it reminds me of. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. Hopefully there's more Star Citizen videos to come. At the end of this month, there's going to be a really big Star Citizen update, which I'm sure I'll cover. But we're also getting a Tarkov update, which is probably the biggest Tarkov update we've gotten. So I'm probably going to be making a lot of videos on that. It'll be hard to decide which game I want to play. I'll probably wait off on Star Citizen, let them iron out more bugs as the patch releases. I'm sure patch days are never good. They're never good in any game. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I don't know what you would call this video. It wasn't really a beginner's guide. It was just kind of showing you the ropes of things and what you can do. Hopefully I did an okay job at that. I didn't show everything, of course. I only showed you a couple things, just a couple features here and there. I think I really like this 890. I love the idea of loading an air vehicle into a ship. I can't get over that. But anyways, dudes, thank you for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to use my referral code. I also stream a lot on Twitch. Link will be in the description. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have. It was a very long video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun making it, and next videos will maybe be live commentaries, gameplay missions, things like that. We'll see. But anyways, guys, peace out.